Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab. Well, I do what I do for you. I got a good lesson for you today. Matter of fact, this is a part two. So let's get the party started. I got some stuff I want to do. Writism, 25 rules led by storytelling. Story with a message. The message is in the story for life. Sometimes I give it to you from the book. Sometimes I give it to you from the dome. Today, we're going to the book. Just a heads up. Let's go. Right Thinker's mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, to get you to do just that. Your mission should be to learn and do just that. So here's the question you should have the answer to for yourself. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can waken up. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside here. Right thinkers, know thyself. Into Maya, the truth. Today I'm going back to part two of my glorious light meditation book. Can you see that this time, buddy? Yeah, yeah. I got some stuff I want to read, wrapping up, and the title was last time, What is Meditation? Okay, we taught that in part one. This is part two. This is titled, What is the Goal of Meditation? I'm going to read a few pages, hopefully break it down as I go, give you a good understanding. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll understand what the goal of meditation is. That's my purpose with this lesson. Let's go. Meditation may be thought of or defined as the practice of mental exercise. Thinking is exercise for your brain. Right thinking is putting it to use. And disciplines. Mental exercises and disciplines to what? Enable the meditator, you, to what? Achieve control over the mind. Well, what do that mean? A lot of us don't have a clue on how to control our thought process and what to think of, why to think it, and how to stop or change it. So meditation, yoga, disciplines, right thing philosophy teaches you how to control the thought process of your mind. Oh yeah. Okay. Now here you go. Disable the mind. Specifically to stop the vibration. Vibration is thoughts that just keep running through your mind. They call it vibration of the mind due to what? Unwanted thoughts. How could you not stop the unwanted thoughts in your mind, imaginations, etc., if you have no control over your thought process, your thinking concept? Then you're going to have vibrations of the mind due to what? Unwanted thoughts and imaginations, etc. Moving on. If your thought process is not on point, is not right, you're going to have problems. Simple as that. Let's talk about consciousness. Consciousness refers to what? The awareness of being alive and of having an identity. When you know yourself to be who your name is, I'm Mark, no, that's not who I am. I know myself to be there, but that's not who I am. We need to be conscious of understanding we're not who we call, we're not the name we go by. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. That's when you wake up and realize that. That's called waking up. When you're not understanding, you're not conscious of that, you're considered sleep, unconscious. Watch this. Now, consciousness refers to what? Being aware of being alive and of having an identity spiritually. We have a spiritual identity and a mental identity. We all identify with the mental. That's the ego. That's the Gibby part. You need to get past that part. That's what I'm trying to get you to. Now, it is this characteristic which what separates humans from animal kingdom. We got dominion over everything here. Why? Because we got the ability to think. We have a conscience. We can know ourselves. Slow it down. Calm down. So I just a little animated. So let me just stick to the lesson. Watch this. Animals cannot become aware of their own existence and to ponder the question such as, who am I? A dog, a cat, they're not going to ask those questions. They're not conscious of that. They just instinctively know who they are by going through the motions of what's in programming their DNA. So understand that. They can't ask questions such as, who am I? Where am I going in life? Where do I come from? Etc. You get the concept? Okay, let me read on. And they also cannot write books on history and create elaborate systems of social history based on our ancestries. Our ancient Egyptians did that. Animals didn't. But we use animals to get across our point. That's another lesson. Okay. Anthropomorphic concepts. We use the characteristic, the gift of that animal is supplemented for us, and we can use it to our benefit. Well, a more, what we tell you in masonry, a more noble and glorious purpose. I love that. They can't write books. So, okay, here you go. Consciousness expresses itself in three modes. These are waking, dream sleep, and the last one, dreamless deep sleep. Sometimes we woke. We know we interacting right now, so we're aware of being woke. But when we go into that dream state or dream sleep, you can hear the ears are still, some of the senses are still activated. Some people can sleep. I can sleep and listen. All closed eyes don't mean the ears is closed. So understand that the ears work automatically. They're gonna pick up stuff. So when you're in that sleep realm, you can still hear. But when you go into that dreamless deep sleep, all functions are shut down. Okay. The body itself is at rest, at ease, because it's all mental. The mind is doing what it does. The subconscious is working, everything going on, but the body is laying in bed. You done went all around the world. You done did all kind of stuff in your mind. The conscious plays tricks on you sometimes. If you don't get control of it, just want to try to show you. With meditation and yoga disciplines, you can control the mind. Okay, that's the whole goal. Where you go. But now those three phases of consciousness. But watch this. However, ordinary human life is only partially conscious. Again, here we go. When you are driving or walking, you sometimes lose track of the present moment. You ever been driving and your mind just goes somewhere, but that's called auto consciousness. I think that's what they call it, your conscious auto, whatever. We get to that automatic conscious here. But what it means that you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can drive the car, but you can go off in thought or have conversations. We do it all the time. So some people fluent in that. Like my man Sadi Guru said, he can function 13 or 14 things at one time. I'm good for 3 or 4. So all right, but some people can't go past one. So that's just another phrase, the concept, how to use your brain. However, ordinary human life is only partially conscious. Why? When you drive, okay. Now all of a sudden, you arrive at your destination without having conscious awareness of the road in which you had just traveled. That means you wasn't paying attention to the road. You was on something else. Daydreaming, going to the trance-like state, whatever, but we all have experienced that. And when you have control over the mind, you have less of that. Well, I'm getting ahead of it because it goes straight that to you. So let me slow down. Let me get back to that. Now, you sometimes lose track of the present moment. All of a sudden, you arrived where you're going, yeah, without conscious of road. That's called your mind went into automatic mode. Okay, it's functioning in its automatic mode of what consciousness. This automatic mode of consciousness represents a temporary what withdrawal from the waking world. You're driving, but you somewhere else. A lot of times we talk to people, if they're not paying attention, we say, yeah, you are from La La Land. Yeah, because you ain't focused. The mind does that. The devil called it drifting. It's another lesson. All right, what's this? Now, this state is similar to what? Daydreaming, a dreamlike musing or fantasy. While you're doing something else, your mind is somewhere else. I load trucks all day. Loading. My body was loading. My mind was all over everywhere. I go anywhere I want, but I still had that automatic consciousness. Load the truck. But I'm thinking about this. So you can use your brain for something other than that. Right? It has multiple functions. It can multitask. Okay, how about that? Where we at? Now, this form of existence, watch this, is what most people consider as normal. And it is. Everyday waking consciousness. It is what people consider to be the extent of human capacity to experience or be conscious. Again, we just half awake. If you just going through life thinking, man, you just half awake. You only function on half a capacity. First of all, our brain capacity, we only use 10% at most, and that's genius level. If you pumping your brain out 10% of your capacity, you're doing good. Why? You got 90% that's just waiting to be tapped into when you raise your consciousness. Let's call it Akashic Records. Another lesson. Let me move on down here. Let's talk about the state of automatic consciousness. It's characterized by what? Mental distraction. Yeah, you're doing something because it's uh, muscle memories. You're doing it, but you're distracted with thoughts that's taking you way past what you're doing. You ain't paying attention. So that's called drifting. Watch this. The mental distraction, restlessness, and extravision. The automatic state of mind exists due to what? Emotions such as desires. You might have something you want. You might be angry, and hatred, which engender desires of the mind. All these is taking you off what your mind is on. You focus on something else, so that takes your mind, okay? Which in turn, watch this, cause more what? Movement, distractions, delusion, and lapse or gaps in human consciousness. Meaning you just drift off into la la land every now and then. Most people who got them desk jobs, they good at that. They be at the work and all of a sudden they go somewhere else. That's how the mind works. And when you can control it, you have less of those episodes. That's what I'm trying to show you. Watch this. Now, in this condition, it doesn't matter how many desires are fulfilled. Desire will be desire. Why? It's desiring. It's never going to be fulfilled. It's just going to desire. So if you ain't controlling your desires, you feeding the illness. It's just gonna suck and suck and ain't gonna do nothing but just keep desiring. So you need to control that. Don't let it control you. Where we at? Okay, the mind will always be distracted and agitated and will never discover peace and contentment in that state. So if you're agitated, if you're doing a whole bunch of, you're never going to find peace and contentment within yourself. If the mind were under control, again, here we go, with self-discipline, spiritual discipline, I call it, meditation, and righteous lifestyle, spiritual living, you will, watch this, if your mind was under control, meaning if you were to remain fully aware and conscious of every feeling, every thought and emotion in your mind, at any given time, it would be, watch this, impossible for you to be swayed or deluded by your thoughts into a state of relative unconsciousness or unawareness, meaning that nonsense won't come into mind. Why? Because you have control over that. You can stop that. That's what it's all about. And with mind control, meditation, yoga practices, disciplines, right thinking philosophy, that's what it's for. To sharpen the mind, to focus your consciousness so you laser focus on the things that you got to take care of. Other than that, you're all over the place. The laser only sharp, only good was fine tuned. You can take water and pump it through a nozzle. It's powerful than a laser. Another lesson, but that's this concept, okay? And it can be done. Where we at down here? Almost done with this. Almost done. Wait a minute. Okay, right here now. Therefore, it is said that those who do not have their minds under control, those who are not right thinkers, because they don't have their mind under control, they're not practicing, they're not even aware of it. Those who don't have their minds under control are not fully awake and conscious human beings. I'm not saying that. That's what the book is saying. I'm just bringing it to you. Let's talk about meditation. Meditation and yoga philosophy. They are disciplines which are directed, watch this, toward what? increasing your awareness. Awareness or consciousness can only be increased when the mind is in a state of peace and harmony. I can't be agitated and function like I normally would. Don't work. I can't be emotionally distraught and function like I normally would. Don't work. So how you deal with those? Keep yourself out of those areas. Peace within yourself. You won't be angry. You won't fly off at the handle. You have more emotional control. Why? Because I'm at peace with myself. I lost a job because of anger for somebody else and they got in the way. When we want to do something to somebody out of anger, whoever get in the way, they're going to get it, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm learning that lesson in life, too. Another life lesson. These are lessons. I'm going back to, yeah, I wish I knew that then. I would, again, you can't go back, but you learn from those mistakes. If it's a mistake, you should learn from it and not repeat it. Awareness and consciousness. Okay, we did that. Excuse me. The only way you can function is have peace and harmony within yourself. That's why the monks and the high priests, they walk around in a state of peace and calm. Why? No matter what you say to them, what you do to them. Remember Kung Fu, Kwai Chang Caine? He was always in peace mode. But if you mess with him, you just made a mistake. So yeah, so the whole point is you can't function if you're agitated, emotionally distraught, and out of character. Thus, watch this. Thus, the discipline of meditation, which are part of the yoga, or part of the yoga, or the primary means to what? Controlling the mind and allowing the individual to mature psychologically and spiritually. I tell you, my morning routine. I pray first. I meditate second. Why? Because when I'm talking to my higher self, I'm letting him in on what I think and how I feel and what I may want for somebody else. I'm a prayer warrior, so I put my prayer in. Okay? Then I sit in peaceful contentment and let him download information to me from the Akashic records. I can tap into that, and I do every chance I get. Love it. Okay? That's just information. And if you are a thinker, you love and download information. Why? You can comprehend it, interpret it, and then you can put it in some position to use it as a teaching tool. That's why I learned so I can teach. All right. Psychologically, watch this. Psychological growth. That means you're starting to become comprehension mentally. Your mental capacity is getting better. So psychological growth is, watch this, promoted because when the mind is brought under control, the intellect becomes clear, and psychological complexes such as anxieties and other delusions which have an effect even in ordinary people can be cleared up. Anybody can meditate, anybody can free their mind, anybody can gain control of their thought process if they put the work and effort to do that. It ain't gonna just happen. No, no, no. That's the caveat. So watch this. Control of the mind and the promotion of internal harmony allows the meditated you to integrate the personality and to what? Resolve the hidden issues of the present, of childhood, and of past lives. Remember, our spirits been here before. Whoever this spirit that I got now, was in somebody else, they didn't do their job. They didn't enlighten it, so it didn't go home. It got reincarnated into me. I'm taking the spirit back home because that's where I'm going, conceptually. Okay? Watch this. When the mind has been brought under control, the expansion of consciousness leads to what? Self-discovery. That one's own individual consciousness is not the total experience of consciousness. Higher consciousness. You're conscious at the human level, which is fine, but you want to raise the conscious level to be spiritual. Let's go. Through the correct practice, here we go, of meditation, right thing of philosophy, you, the individuals, your consciousness and your awareness is expanded to the point wherein there is a discovery that one is more than just an individual. I know I'm more than just who my body and what my physical output is. I know I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I know the inner me. That's the purpose of religions, to get you to find the inner self. I don't knock it. I understand it. I just see it's not being taught the right way. So it would be better. Everybody going their own way. No uniformity at all. All of my commission brothers and sisters, we say and do the same thing. Unity. Now the state, you get back to the state of automatic consciousness. Why? Becomes reduced. That state of drift and that state of just, nope, it becomes reduced. Watch this. In the favor of the experiences of increasing the levels of continuous awareness, meaning I'm constantly focused. I'm not drifting, I'm not, dozing off, I'm not daydreaming. Focus, okay, pay attention. That's what continuous awareness is. In Hindu, they call it mindfulness. You learn that later. All right. In other words, watch this. There is a decrease of daydreaming as well as the episodes of carrying out activities and forgetting oneself in them until they are finished. Driving, for example. Again, mine was loading. I was just zone out until it's time to stop loading. I'm in autopilot on that, yeah. But I use that to my benefit. Okay, watch this. Now, also, there is a reduced level of what? Loss of awareness of self during what? The dream, sleep, and the dreamless states. I'm a lucid dreamer. That means I know when I go to sleep and I know when I lay down, I'm going into the dream state. So I'm aware and I'm, again, conscious that I'm in the dream. If you ever woke up in your dream or realized you was dreaming, it's a beautiful thing. Trust me. Normally, most people, watch this, at the lower level of consciousness, awareness, become caught up in the swoon or the fainting effect which occurs when? At the time when one falls asleep, or when there is no awareness of dreams while in the deep sleep state, dreamless state. A lot of us wake up, oh, I had a good dream. Oh, when you remember the dream, because it's that real that you remember it. Some dreams you forget. Some dreams you won't want to remember. But the concept is you control it. What you mean? Yeah, your subconscious all day long, going by this way, pick it up, listen, and you ain't paying attention. But the subconscious, that's all it does. So when you go to sleep, it wakes up. And if you ain't lucid dreaming, if you ain't aware of that, you caught up in the wash, so to speak. And it's your wash. And you ain't even in control. Okay, it's like being behind the wheel of the car and sleep. The car driving, but you sleep. Again, automatic consciousness will keep you driving the car like it's supposed to be, but you not conscious. So understand that. Where we at? Where we at? Okay, right here. Now the dream. When you go into that deep sleep dream state, when you wake up, you don't remember nothing, but you should be refreshed. Why? Because you was tired, probably mentally tired. So the brain just went shut it down for a while so it can reboot again. Those are for people who are unconscious, low level frequency. Okay, they go through it all the time. Now watch this. Now this is called swooning. The effect causes an ordinary person, watch this, to lose consciousness of their own waking state, identity, and to assume the identity of what? Their dream subject, and thus to feel that the dream subject as well as the dream world are realities in themselves. When we go to sleep, we doing what God doing right now, putting people in your dream. Whatever come to your mind, that's going to be in the dream world, the dream state. And if you ain't controlling, all kinds of madness go on, okay? So everybody that had those situations. But if you get caught up in believing that it's real, while you're in the dream, you believe it's real. A lot of us don't want to die in our dream. Why? I might not wake up. Conception. Again, see, thought. The power of thinking is a bad jammer once you get on top of it. And if you're not on top of it, it's on top of you. The shift in identification, watch this, from the waking personality to the dream personality to the absence of either personality, which is in what? The dreamless state that led our ancient philosophers, to what? Discover that these states are not absolute realities. Why? They're just in the mind. All is mental. When you can think it, you can achieve it. But that don't make it real. You can bring to conscious mind can go all over the place. But watch this. Philosophically, anything that is not continuous and biting cannot be considered as real. This whole world is illusionary. What you mean? Yeah, again, ignorance. Pay attention. All right. So nothing that's not forever truth is real. Why? It don't change. Maya philosophical concept is real. It don't change. Okay. Only what exists, watch this, and does not change again in all periods of time can be considered as real. 10,000 BCE instituted. 2023, I'm using it, and it still works. That's real. Trust me. Nothing in the world, watch this, nothing in the world of what human experience qualifies as real according to this test. Nature, the human body, everything has what? A beginning. If you had a starting point, you got an ending point. That's why the great I am said, I'm all that. Beginning and end, I'm all that. So understand that. So therefore, watch this. There are not absolutely real. They appear to be real. Watch this. Because of the limit mind and senses, along with the belief in our mind that they are real, meaning the world which we live in right now. The Native Americans said that when you go to sleep, that's the real world. Australia, Aborigines, says that the same thing. The real world is the dream world that we go into when we have the body. Remember, we're in our own mind, our own conscious mind. We live in God's conscious mind right now. We all conscious. We all part of God. We just all playing different roles. God is the major role player, but we all get a chance to think as us. Love that concept, okay? But that's the concept of living spiritually into a human body. The God part, you got to connect with that in this body and realize that now what? It can go home. It found itself. It woke up spiritually. In other words, people believe that matter and the physical objects are real, even though modern physics have proven that all matter is not physical or stable. It changes constantly, and its constitute parts are in reality what compose of empty spaces. Think about it. When you fall asleep, here we go again, back to my concept. When you fall asleep, you believe that the dream world is real. But upon waking up, you believe it was not real. No, you don't. You know it wasn't real. Why? Because it was a dream. But while you're in it, you believe it's real. Hope you're following along. Now, believe that the dream, the real world, but what you know. Now, at the same time, when you fall asleep, watch this. You forget the waking world. You go to sleep now. You forget this world. You go into the next level. Understand that. And everybody practices this when they go to sleep. I tell you, you practice and dying when you go to sleep every day. You're gonna die. The sun go down every day. It comes back up. We go out every day and come back up. Same concept. It's cycle of life. Once you get understanding about nature, you can see how we work just like nature. Okay? Therefore, watch this. Okay, no. Okay, wait. Okay. So you forget the waking world. You forget your relatives. You forget everything. Why? Because you in another state of mind. If you're lucid, you have all that goes with you. And watch this. Now, and when you assume an entirely new history, relative situations in what? Your world systems in your mind. Therefore, philosophically, the ordinary state of consciousness which human beings experiences are limited to what? They're limited and illusory. We need to understand that this is all an illusion. When you go to sleep, that's the real world. I'm just saying, you can try and test to see if you see. Make your own test. What's real and what's not. Okay, let's go. Now, the waking dream and dreamless sleep states are only, watch this, transient expressions of the deeper underlying consciousness This underlying consciousness, which witnesses when you in this body, and you had that God experience, that mystical experience, that Christ, that epiphany, whatever it is, now you become a what? A witness for him. He ain't gonna show himself, but you got to be a witness for him to prove he exists in you. I'm just saying. When you realize that, when you realize you and God are one, you woke. You're conscious, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Whoa, I can wrap this up. Now, the waking dream state, we did that underlying consciousness, which witness, so you become a witness. Now watch this. Now, according the other three states, you got three stages: the dream light, the unconscious. Oh yeah, okay. Now, Carl Jung referred to these collective unconsciousness, and in the Indian philosophy, this fourth state, waking, dreamlike, dreamless. Now you got what they call, what's this? I love this. I'm wrapping up with this. I got way too much time on here. All right. In Indian philosophy, this fourth state of consciousness, awareness, is known as Turiya. Turia is also referred to as God consciousness. Bam, my word. Or cosmic consciousness. I got to go. Time ran out. I'll be back. I got more.